Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be mid-April messages for the sign of Capricorn. Hello, hello, Capricorn. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, Capricorn, let's get into it. That is your main spread there, shuffled ahead of time off camera. And what I will shuffle now for is your outcome and your overall energy. Once all cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can look down in the description box below if you want the timestamp so you can jump ahead to the actual beginning of the reading. Also down there, you will see the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Right now, the price is $25 for about a 40 to 45, maybe even 50-minute reading with me. That is pretty cheap if you kind of compare it to just what most other readers will offer to you. So if you like my vibe and you like the price, I would suggest getting that now, as that price will go up in June. Making some changes around here, following through with my intuition and the goals that I've set for myself with my channel. So in the hopes of saving you some money, I advise you to get a private reading sooner rather than later, okay? All right, Capricorn, let's go ahead and get your outcome for this mid-April period, okay? Outcome for Capricorn in mid-April 2019. Outcome for Capricorn in mid-April 2019, please. There it is. Wow. All right, the bottom of the deck is the overall energy. And everything came face up. Look at that. I don't have to flip a damn thing. That's interesting. All right, guys, let's get into this. Please show me Capricorn's prominent energy in mid-April 2019. Capricorn's prominent energy in mid-April, please. Okay, thank you. Wow, that was nice and powerful, just like bang. So maybe that's indicative of your energy right now. I don't know. All right, Capricorn, coming into mid-April, you come in with the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. Major Arcana, Wheel of Fortune, associated with the fixed signs Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And Wheel of Fortune being associated with the planet of Jupiter can also be associated with Sagittarius. None of those signs have to matter to you, by the way. It's just to give you a little education about the tarot. Now, oh boy, you have, wow, that's like really very strong. And maybe it's specific to someone. So I will say it, even though I don't necessarily subscribe to this, but someone out there has God on their side is how they want me to phrase it. God on your side, or you feel you have God on your side with whatever you're dealing with. And that's wonderful. That's positive for you. That's affirmation to you. That's great. I try to stay away from, too much religious talk in general. Anyway, so Capricorn, I'm feeling that for you, things are progressing. And they're progressing quite steadily. Even if it feels like it's going at a molasses pace, like a slow drip pace for you, it is still progression, and it is I feel it's going in the direction that most of you desire, whether you're seeing the payoff, that's a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different question. But ultimately, I feel that things are progressing as they need be in your life. And to sort of borrow a little bit from that phrase I said a moment ago about, God being on your side, there is this implication of destiny and what is already divinely written or divinely orchestrated when we come into contact with the Wheel of Fortune. So whether you believe in all that stuff or you don't believe in it at all, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And it's hard for me to articulate, because it's like, a lot of times when we talk about spirituality or religion or anything like that, what we're really essentially talking about is faith. And faith to me is one of those, contentious words or contentious concepts. It's something that people give a lot of energy into, put a lot of emphasis on, or a lot of credence to, and a lot of weight falls into that word or that concept for many people. And for others, that doesn't mean a damn thing, and it's worthless or it's fruitless. But that's what I'm feeling here, is that for whoever this is going to resonate with, you have a lot of faith in you about whatever situation this is going to be talking about today. You feel there is a certain outcome that is due to you that will be favorable to you. And I'm not even going to classify that as a quote unquote like a win. Like some of you, to kind of incorporate what I'm saying here, to some of you, it's actually things aren't going necessarily in your favor, and you believe you might deserve that. And so it's weird, because again, I'm being brought back to this hinge word of faith. This hinge word of faith. Okay. And that's going to go different ways. So some of you are relying on your faith, and you're feeling you're going to get your just dues and everything is going to come up the way that it should. You're going to see benefit come out of this. You're going to see some type of reward befall you. Others of you rely on faith, or have relied on faith, and you feel scorned by it. You feel let down. You feel as if God, and this is heavy, so you're in for it today. But some of you feel that God or the universe or spirit or your angels have tested your faith, tested your patience, tested you, and things are not coming up in your favor, and you feel something about your faith is in question. You know, you might be whipping yourself. I wasn't faithful enough. I didn't believe enough. I didn't pray enough. I didn't meditate enough. I didn't take certain actions in time, and now I'm being punished. And regardless of where you're standing with this, Capricorn, all of this is down to your perception. I feel personally what the message is, well, not even personally. Yeah, because this is not exactly aligned with my own personal beliefs. But basically, whatever's coming to you, and it's not my personal belief, because I don't speak this on my channel, and I don't really speak it in my personal life because I'm still learning about it. But there is this aspect of karma. And for those who have a pretty layman's understanding of karma, my understanding is that karma is not punishment. Karma is also not reward. Karma is sort of this exchange program. You know? What you put out, you get back. Whether that's beneficial to you, whether that's detrimental to you, that's your perception, that's open to your interpretation, that's open to your subjective positioning and understanding. But it's an exchange program. And I don't talk about karma a lot because I'm no expert on it, and like I said, I'm still learning about it. But that's what I feel that this Wheel of Fortune is bringing to you. Karmically, you are getting what is due to you. If that's bad, I'm sorry. If that's good, congratulations. If it's meh, okay. Like, I'm not here to judge what is coming into your life or what is unfolding in front of you right now. That's all for you to decide. But it's really this, like, it's an influence over you. Like, I'm feeling like this is sort of encompassing you right now, this Wheel of Fortune energy. And it's showing up in ways that maybe you haven't expected. Maybe, you know, you put out good energy or bad energy, whatever, and you're expecting your comeuppance to look a certain way, but it's not going to look a certain way. And so that's where I think a lot of you are having your faith tested, or you're feeling confirmed in your faith. It's like maybe you were in need of money and you prayed on it, or you did whatever you do to manifest money into your life. You literally needed money, but it doesn't come in the form of money. It comes in the form of an opportunity to gain money. So that's what I mean. So some of you may have been praying, oh, Lord, help me, or whoever help me. I need $500. I need it like today. I need it. And like nobody really ever just stumbles across $500 extra in their day-to-day life. What more likely happens is people come to you, or situations open up to you that allow you to make that money, that allow you to earn what you need. Does that make sense? So it's kind of nuanced. It's very, very, very metaphysical, what we're talking about here. So that's where you start. It's very powerful. And a lot of you are, like, for a few of you, just a few of you, that was a bitter pill to swallow. For most of you, I think you're very at home with that energy. I think you're very aware of how that is going to be affecting you and why it's here, right? Because, yes, thank you. Because you've been on this trek of truth and heartfelt honesty, I feel. Yep. You've been working towards this. And I don't know how it's going to manifest in your life. I don't know how it's going to play out. But you've been putting in the work to have this Wheel of Fortune come into your life. Again, whether it's beneficial or detrimental, I don't know. But Ace of Swords, right next door. So you've been brandishing this sword, this Ace of Swords, right? Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You've been speaking truths. You've been trying to be honest with people. You've been trying to give people clarity and insight into a situation, insight into how you feel, what you think, all of those things. And you've been demanding it in return. And if not demanding it, because, Capricorn, you're not like one who makes demands. You just like have expectations, and when they're not fulfilled, you're like, okay. And you kind of learn your lesson that way. You can be very passive in your expectations or passive in your demands of people. You can leave the direct expectations. Well, I mean, not to say like you're passive, but just like, I don't think you're going to someone and saying, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth right now. Tell me what I need to know. I don't think you're doing that. I don't think you're being that aggressive with it. You might say, listen, I just want to know how you feel. And if they tell you a lie, or it's a lie, or you feel it's a lie, then you just let it go. Like, you're not, thank you. Instead of being demanding, instead of using the word demanding, you're not insistent. And you're also not, you guys have like all the semantics today. I'm feeling it. Like all these nuances. So you're not insistent, but you are persistent, okay? So you're not insistent, meaning you say to someone, tell me the truth. I've told you the truth. I've explained myself. Now it's your turn. You say to that person, you demand this of them or insist upon this. Once. They say whatever they say. Maybe they don't tell you anything. Maybe what they tell you, you automatically know it's a lie. Whatever. If you insist, you would continue the conversation then and there. No. Say that again. Or, I don't believe you, explain this or explain that. And you might, go down a further line of questioning. Instead of insisting, you just let that conversation die. Okay, they said what they said. You think about it for a day or two. You give it some time. You mull it over. And then you're like, I still feel there's something I don't know. There's something I don't understand. And so then you go back. And you might approach them that way. Based on our conversation the other day, there's a few things I don't understand. Could you clear up or clarify what you told me earlier? And then they explain themselves again. Or they tell you another lie. Or they say the same thing to you, but now they're a little agitated. Whatever. And then you take that and you're like, okay, they seem to be pretty adamant about what they said. Something still doesn't feel right here. And then you wait another day or two or whatever. And then you go back and you do it. You see what I mean? So you're persisting in finding the truth. Now, the thing about this Ace of Swords is that you're brandishing it, right? You're bringing it out to people. You're showing it off. You're, slicing through the air, right? With this sword. The dangerous, quote unquote, dangerous side of the Ace of Swords in this reading right now is that it's subjective to you, Capricorn. So to you, the truths that you're expelling or that you're giving out to people, and the truths and the clarity that you're allowing into yourself. It all is going through the lens or the filter of Capricorn. Okay? So what do I mean? So where you think a person is lying, maybe they're not. Or where you think a person isn't telling you everything, or not telling you all of the details, or not telling you exactly how they feel, maybe they are. So it's subjective to you. So there's a little caution there. And again, like I said, for a group of you where you're thinking the comeuppance or whatever the Wheel of Fortune is bringing into your life is bad karma, or you're getting negative results or something like that. Some of you are convinced, or you feel affirmed now that I'm talking about it. Oh, because I'm being kind of excuse me, because I'm having my own thoughts and perceptions of what other people are saying, you know what I mean? And I don't want this to be a blame game thing, because I don't think that there's any need for it. But that's the caveat here is, in our pursuit of truth, we lose some perspective of objectivity. Even if you are trying to be as far removed from a situation or a conflict or a relationship as possible, you still, as a human, will have a subjective point of view. None of us are Siri or, Google Assistant, or what's the other one? Alexa, excuse me. We're not automated AI intelligence. We are humans. So there's always a chance that in your pursuit of truth and in your declaration of truth, you are, tainting the subject pool, so to speak. Okay? Not a blame game, just a fact. Just a fact. So you're out there interacting with people, your family, your friends, your lovers, strangers, whatever. You're just like trying to be above board in everything. Or you've not been before, and like, okay, thank you. Because like, I feel like a group of you've been doing this consistently, being truthful, being honest with people, being very transparent with people, right? You've been doing that for your whole life, a good portion of your life, or whatever. There's a few of you that are coming into this truthfulness and this honesty and brutal honesty, or, no filter, all that kind of stuff. It's a new act that you're doing. It's a new, attitude or perspective or approach that you're taking on. And maybe that's why some of you are feeling like, well, I'm still seeing the karma of my past self, the less honorable, the less honest version of me coming out. It's very interesting. I hope you're not punishing yourself too much. We all get there. We all get in those spots where it's like, oh, I really effed that up. I really mucked that up. I really deserve this. And it's like, calm down. Don't beat yourself up too badly, okay? Now, partnered with your Ace of Swords, you have this Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You might have someone of one of those signs significant around you, but if you did, this is for those where this is an external person, regardless of what sign they are. Younger person, maybe a little like, not young, like youthful, but young as in like still like a junior executive, not an actual executive, not a CEO. And I don't know why I'm using the analogy of work, but so maybe this is someone at your job, but they're like mid-level, like just shy of heading into midlife crisis. Okay, so we're talking mid-20s to maybe late 30s is how I'm feeling this person to be. And you like them, they're significant to you, you have a good rapport with them, you have a good relationship with them, it's very warm, it's very cute and cuddly if we're talking romance, or it's very like it's effusive even if it's not romantic. Like you show a lot of you show them a lot of favor and they show you a lot of favor. But there's a thing about this person that lacks stability, and you know this. That's why it's partnered with the truth. That's why it's partnered with this clarity and transparency. You know that this person, despite all their charms, you can't place all your eggs in their basket. You just cannot. Okay? So that's why I said, like, they're young, but they're still, or rather, I was saying, like again, the junior executive, like maybe they were just recently promoted to whatever position they're in, or they just joined your company, or you just started dating them. Something like that, where you feel you can trust them, you feel you have this rapport with them, this even exchange with them, and you might, but there's still a little wet behind the ears. It is a knight. It's not as accomplished as a queen or a king. It's not as solid because the knights move, right? Pages and knights, they move. Queens and kings, they sit. So if you're looking at this person for some type of reliability, don't put all your eggs in their basket. You can put some. If we're talking a dozen, save 4. You know, do not commit all of your interest, all of your energy into this person. And you already know this. Oh, and again, it's subjective. And again, we talked about faith. So there's a trust or an intuition that you feel about this person where I can trust you to a certain point. And maybe it's because they're so new. The relationship between you is so new. Their presence in your life is so new that, you know, they haven't stood the test of time. You know, okay, well, we've been dating for 4 months, or you've been on the job for, you know, since October last year, something like that. You know, how are you going to behave when there aren't as many hours to go around the office? Or how are you going to behave when our bonuses don't come through because we didn't make the sales goals? You know, or how are you going to behave when we go and spend the weekend at my parents' house? My freaking family is crazy. You love me, but you're not going to love them. You know, this person has yet to prove themselves fully due to circumstances. Like between the two of you, I feel things are fine. But when the environment changes, when other people around you, around the pair of you are introduced, then we will see if the Knight of Cups is as reliable as you want them to be, as you hope for them to be. Okay? Now, if this is not about an external person, let's see. Then it would be that energy, all of that would be inside of you, Capricorn, and someone, not someone, but I suppose life in general, or how you're feeling about yourself is being tested. Am I as reliable as I claim to be? Am I as, like, loyal as I say I am? Because that's the thing about the Knight of Cups. He is a Don Juan, or has the potential to be a Don Juan. And you can apply that to your work life, your family life, whatever. You know, not with the whole, you know, romantic, I'm stooping everybody left and, but with the idea of fidelity, reliability, stability, right? A Don Juan, charming, talks a great game, is very engaging. Do not deny, in whether this is another person or it's your own energy, that there is some attractiveness and magnetism to this energy. But again, if we're talking about truthfulness and we're talking about sort of the passage of time and growing and sort of being on this pathway that leads to something greater, which is often what I associate the Wheel of Fortune to be, being on a pathway towards something greater or towards some type of expansion, towards some type of leveling up. The Knight of Cups might not make it. The Knight of Cups might, you know, call the night before and say, hey man, I can't make it on that journey, or I can't make it on that pathway towards betterment, towards expansion. I'm a dip, you know? So either that's you, either that's someone you're dealing with, or it's just sort of perhaps in a more, in a broader sense, it's the vibe that you're finding with certain people in your life. Maybe certain friends of yours are dropping off and you're like, oh, well, Carolyn, you just aren't as cool and as reliable as I thought you were. But you've known her for 5 months, so, you know, what can you expect? And even it could be long. It could be people that you've known longer, technically, because we all change, right? We all evolve over our lifetimes. We all change and evolve over our lifetimes. Now, I think there's a lot of accountability here that needs to be weighed and measured as objectively as possible. But like I said, we have some subjective leaning, some bias with the Ace of Swords. Regardless of any of that, I think your purpose, that's a big word, your purpose, perhaps here today, your purpose or what you're encouraged to do, Capricorn, is to keep moving forward. Because I feel there's something about a time previous to now, whether that's recent, whether that's the last few years, whether that's the last decade of your life, I don't know. But I feel for you, Capricorn, there has been this tendency to get stuck in the mud with something, or with a person, or in a situation, or in certain phases of your life. Get stuck in the mud, and your tires are spinning, and you're not able to gain traction and get yourself out of trouble, or get yourself out of this ditch, right? So I think you've recently found traction again. And this is all kind of what you're going to do going forward now that you've got yourself out of the mud, okay? This Fool card for you coming up. Uranus energy, so secondary card of Aquarius. You might have someone who is an Aquarius in your life, but don't have to. Oh. There's like a hopefulness here. And, interesting. I don't know if this is going to give you hope or give you pause. But look at the lack of detail in the features. Like, there's no face. Like, we can get the outline of a body, but we don't know, like, here where the torso is, what's on that shirt, what kind of shirt it is, what's the fabric, are there designs on it, is it a solid color, you know? So there's like this outline, a discernible outline. You could tell this is a person, right? But there are certain details missing here. And that's okay. And again, I don't know if that gives some of you pause or gives some of you hope. But there's a certain lack of detail in what you're going to do moving forward, how the situation between you and the Knight of Cups is going to work out, what the Wheel of Fortune is going to bring into your life, and how you're going to deal with it, how you're going to meet whatever those circumstances are. All of that stuff is undefined. And I feel the Fool is here to tell you to embrace that lack of definition, to be okay with not being able to see everything that's coming towards you. You know, I don't think of Capricorn as being a control freak, but you certainly like to know what you're working with. Earth sign, all of you guys want to know what you're working with. You're not an air sign. You're not any of the other elements. Earth is very much in, let's see what we have already established so that we can move forward or stay here or whatever we're planning to do. The more detail you have, the better prepared you feel. So the Fool is here to kind of encourage you to take not risks per se, but be open to a lack of vision. If this literally means changing your environment, moving, changing jobs, changing relationships, doing whatever, don't be afraid to step out on faith, so to speak. But don't be afraid to step out into something without knowing, you know, every little thing you can know about it or the person. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I think, coming back to where we were talking about the Knight of Cups and that being a person in your life, the uncertainty about them and their reliability, their stability, how they're going to play into your life long term, whatever. That being up in the air, I don't think should discourage you. There's a chance to kind of learn something here, or to allow this person to fill in the blanks for you. There might be a tendency for you, Capricorn, to try and fill in the blanks for whenever you see a detail is missing. You kind of, you know, sort of like Mad Libs. Give me a noun. Okay, baseball bats. You know, give me an adverb. Hurriedly. Like, you are trying to Mad Lib your life. And I think the Fool, in combination with everything else that is here, is saying, don't do that. Close that little book. Don't play that game. Let the blank spaces be blank, because the Fool really doesn't give a shit about what's missing or the lack of detail in his life. He goes forward. He embraces the up in the airness or the up in the air quality of a situation. And maybe that's a truth for some of you, since it comes underneath that Ace of Swords. Like maybe that's a new paradigm or a new way of living your life. You know, maybe before this, Capricorn, you've been very restricted. You've lived sort of, you know, by the rule book. And the Fool definitely is not into rules. The Fool is definitely anti-rule book. So maybe that's a change that you're kind of trying to embrace, is kind of being, well, this person might be a risk or a liability. I still want to be their friend. I still want to date them. I still want to be on this person's team when we go in to do certain projects at work or at school or whatever. So, whereas before, you would never want to associate with someone who doesn't do outlines or something like that. You know what I mean? So, a lot of like growth and progression and expansion for you here. It's very interesting. I like it. All right, so what's your outcome for mid-April? You've got the Six of Cups. Now, that bodes well for some of you who are in a romantic relationship. This is traditionally, in other tarot decks or by other readers, they will label this a soulmate card. I don't want to use that word, if I'm honest. And I'm not. But if you want to, it's your life. You can always interpret my readings any way you want. You can do that. But I'm not going to say soulmate. What I will say is there is a very avid connection between you and another person, for those where this is romantic, or even in platonic friendships with, you know, whoever at the office. There is a very avid, excitable, energetic connection with another person. Like, what are these? Two lemurs, right? Two species. You two peas in a pod, you know? Members of the same species, you know? You feel kindred with someone. I'll say kindred. I will not say soulmate. Or I should say, like I normally say. See, I'm like fighting soulmate because I feel someone wants to hear soulmate, and I have to burst your bubble a little bit because in my estimation, how I usually use that word is to mean anybody of significance, of a profound significance in your life. Friend, romantic or not. Long term, short term, 2 days, it doesn't matter. Soulmates are people who vibe with you on a frequency or on a vibrational level, right? Speak the same soul language, kind of, right? That's why they are soulmates. Now, who and how and why they come into your life is going to be different. So for those who are thinking soulmates last forever, soulmates love you unconditionally, I do not subscribe to that definition. If that's what you want to plug in here, you may do that. But I'm going to suggest that you don't, because that's not what I'm feeling from this card. That's not what I'm feeling from this connection with possibly the Knight of Cups or possibly certain people that fit the description of the Knight of Cups, okay? Significant? Yes. Feels good to be around them and enjoy their company? Yes, yes, yes. They like you, you like them? Yes, yes, yes. Long term? Questionable. Stability, reliability. Uncertain. Not really sure if we can count on them. Wants everything that you want? No. Nah. Because even if these two lemurs speak the same soul language, they recognize each other as a member of the same species, again, you'll see that one of them holds a cup and the other one doesn't. So there is, in some way, a lack of equality or a lack of sameness. Okay? One holds a cup, the other one is either receiving the cup or just like looking at him like, hey, oh, you got a cup full of flowers. That's nice. Like there isn't total sameness with this person. Still a soulmate, still having good times, still showing and reflecting similar experiences and perspectives, but there might be a chance, just chance, that they don't align with you completely. And that's the point of soulmates. Like, you're not supposed to be 100% the same anyway. So for there's somebody here who wanted like the ooh la la, or the storybook rainbows and unicorns, you know, soulmate plug-in here. And I'm gonna let you know, not today. Not in this reading, no ma'am or sir. Okay? Now, for those where it's not about a specific relationship, this is about kindredness or feeling at home. Yeah? Maybe with the Knight of Cups or people that represent the Knight of Cups, like energetically other people who vibe with you. So, and how do I mean that? So let's say, again, for that fool's journey that you're on, that move that you take into a new company or into a new city or new living situation or new social situation. Some of you might, for lack of a better word, get into cliques or scenes, or be looking for a clique or scene or people who, again, same species. You know, I'll just use this because I think it's kind of topical, and I think some people will be able to relate to it. I can relate to it. But maybe recently, like, you got into BTS. Maybe you're like, oh man, BTS is pretty cool. And then you watch Coachella, or you were at Coachella, and you're like, oh, Blackpink. What? What is this? What is this world of K-pop? I've got to know. And you explore the world of K-pop. Something really simple. It's topical. And, you know, all your life you've been listening to either American pop music or Western pop music or death metal, for God's sakes. I don't know. And this K-pop world is so different. It's like catchy, it's colorful, and you learn more about it. And then you learn more about the culture of South Korea. And then you learn more about this and da 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 da. And then people are looking at you when you go to work, and you're like, you know, walking in the room singing, you know, BTS songs or whatever. And people are like, what the hell are you singing? And people look at you like you're crazy. So now you have to go find other people who vibe the way that you vibe musically in your music taste. Like, oh man. So you go on message boards, or you go on Reddit, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff, and you make little friends. Something like that. Nothing where, you know, you're holding your cup out to someone, please love K-pop as much as me. It doesn't have to be that way. It's really just about equality and reciprocity in this case, in just having mutual interests. Okay? Your overall energy for the month, or excuse me, not the month, but for this mid-April period, is the Page of Pentacles. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and a page. So some of you, I don't usually say it, but I've been saying it lately, so I guess I have to start thinking about children now. Some of you might have an earth sign child of significance around you, but you do not have to. But I'm getting like this planter's box, or like starter pack of planting seeds, right? So there's a novice energy here, an amateur element here for you, Capricorn. You are the novice, or you're dealing with a novice, or there's something about just taking things baby steps, you know, or what do you call that? Training wheels, right? Tenderly walking into a new situation is how this is coming across. And so I think that's happening. I mean, that kind of speaks to everything that we were talking about earlier, and a little bit with what we were talking about the Fool, where you are experiencing things in ways that you haven't experienced them before, and you have a new perspective or new clarity that hasn't come into your life until this point. And based on what you are learning, you will take these baby steps going forward, and you will move quietly, methodically, peacefully. Okay? That's an interesting word, peacefully. Okay? Down whatever road you choose. Page of Pentacles is interested in growth, interested in sort of solid experiments. What do I mean by solid experiments? Like, if it was the Page of Wands or even the Page of Swords, they kind of go into it for shits and giggles, just to do it. You know, impulsive behavior with those pages. The Page of Pentacles is not impulsive. The Page of Pentacles wants a solid experiment. If I'm going to do this thing, I hope to gain something from it. I hope to enlighten myself. I hope to have a material benefit to it. You know what I mean? So in case of the K-pop thing, it's like, I like this stuff, but I don't want to just like be liking it because, you know, one K-pop group went to Coachella in 2019. Like, I really want to like get into it. So you want to, for what I know of it, you'll join maybe the fan clubs of certain K-pop acts. You know what I mean? Like, there's something of material investment is what the Page of Pentacles is interested in. And material gains, you know? So you're going to be buying posters, you know? You're going to be buying the little merchandise that they sell outside of concerts. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just enough to download their songs onto your iPhone. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So there is a certain, if I'm going to put my effort into this, I want to see something come back to me. And that also kind of speaks to that Wheel of Fortune aspect of faith and karma that we were talking about earlier. Whatever you put in, you get it back in an exchange, though. Not as punishment, not as reward, but just as an exchange, in my estimation. But you can think of karma in the Wheel of Fortune however you like, okay? All right, Capricorn, that is your reading for mid-April. Did you like it? If you did, like button is down below. If you want to leave some comments, let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read them. You can share this video across your social media platforms. I would appreciate that. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. If you hit the notification bell, you'll see when I upload videos, and eventually I'm going to start using the community page on my channel, so you'll be kept abreast of all that stuff if you follow, or excuse me, if you subscribe and you've hit the notification bell, okay? Capricorn, I will be back in a few weeks' time, and I'm going to bring you your May 2019 readings. And before then, I'm probably going to do a random reading, so you might want to check that out as well. And yeah, that's it. All right, Capricorn, I thank you so much for watching up until this point. Take care. Bye.